What's up, folks? Welcome back to season 5, episode 12 of Bearded Wholesome and All Things Baltimore. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. It's a very special day. First and foremost, it's my birthday. Uh, really excited to be doing the show. Had a day off of work, doing it early in the morning just to kind of, get my day started. I have a very special guest. He is a Baltimore club music legend. He goes by DJ Mighty Mark. Mark, how is it going, brother?
Everything going good, man. I can't complain. It's Friday, and happy birthday.
Thank, thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm so happy we got a chance to do this show, Mark. It's been a long time coming. I had the pleasure of interviewing your older brother a year
Mm,
or two ago, and you have been making some waves in Baltimore in the club music scene. You are a legend in this city. Just to kind
mm.
of give everybody a background that's currently watching right now, Mark, you and I go back about 22 years at this point. We were in middle school
Ooh,
together at Roland Park.
yes,
you know,
yes. Times
I
fly.
I I time is flying.
Mhm,
I had the pleasure of watching you early on when you were making beats and writing music and
mhm,
freestyling and battle
mhm.
rapping in the cafeteria, in the classrooms, in the
Yes.
hallways of Roland Park, man. And here you are, 2 decades later. You are all over Netflix. You were all over social media. You have multiple titles, to your
Mm.
name that are circulating for you. You're teaching other people your craft. How is all this going, man? You are a busy man these days.
Yeah, I just try to collaborate with others and try to bring people up and be positive in my work and in my relationships, and it normally just keeps me busy because everybody wants to work. It kind of keeps things flowing.
Absolutely. You've been passionate about this for a very long time,
Mm.
and I'm not going to say, me and you were the best of friends because that would be
Mhm.
facetious of me. But
Yeah.
knowing that we went to the same middle school together, I got to see you
Mm.
early on, where you walk around every day with your notebook, and
Mhm.
you were making beats on the cafeteria tables, and you were honing your craft even as a 13, 14-year-old kid. And here
Mhm.
you are, you're seeing your name all over uh,
Yeah.
productions, all over Netflix. Let's kick it back a little bit. When did you know that you wanted to do this full time and that you had the passion to make this your life's work?
Um, I just always knew it was something that I loved, and most of the time I wasn't really planning to make any money off of it or like planning to make a career out of it. I was just doing it because I loved it. And when I shifted from rapping to producing and then I started making club music and some of the stuff started getting played on 92Q. And then even at that point, it was still just for fun until like back in the day with club music, it was like you had to know the DJ to get the music. Now everything online. I consider myself one of the first people, one of the people that was early in putting club music online and
Okay, okay.
branding myself, putting it on SoundCloud. So then colleges like Haverford College, a couple other schools called me and wanted to pay me to DJ. At that point, I would just produce them like, hey, we'll pay you a couple of $1,000 to come up to our school and play. And I was like, oh, then it just kind of kept snowballing from there. But still, I just quit my full-time job like a year ago. And it's not like I had to keep the job, it was a decent job. So I just kept it's really just about time management. It's just about you can work and still do this and just people say, yeah, I gotta quit my job. You don't really gotta quit until like you know you turning down so many opportunities or time wise from your job as well, because it's more work when you not working for the guy, not working for somebody, and working for yourself. I found that out. I've been finding that out in the past year and a half.
I can't say I understand, but that's a good way to look at it. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you. You just alluded to it though, Mark.
Mhm.
You you stopped battle rapping. You stopped, making music
Yeah.
yourself, and you started producing music for other people. What is the
Yes.
what is the most what's the most difficult transition to where now you're producing and making beats for other artists? When I know that as a creative person, you might be thinking to yourself, I can still rap and still do this on my own
Yeah.
beat. So what is it like when you got other artists coming into your studio and now
Mm.
you have to kind of take a, not necessarily a backseat, but you have a different role in the creation of music?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a role that you have to learn. Like when we was at Roland Park, I was freestyling. That led into going to Poly and one of the rap club, spoken word club, the Floetic Lyricist. Shout out to Mr. Blythe at Poly. Um, but at a point, probably like 10th grade, 11th grade, I wanted to rap over beats, but I didn't have any original beats. And it was already a producer in the school that was producing. And then one of my friends gave me a copy, gave my cousin a copy of FL Studio. I didn't have a computer. So I go to my cousin's house and mess with FL Studio, which is a production program. Oh yeah, I can make these beats. And I just had fun more coaching the artist. And when you're a producer, you're really making the canvas for the artist to shine. You being there to understanding the artist. Sometimes you're a counselor, sometimes you're a motivator, sometimes you're a semi-therapist, sometimes you just a shoulder to lean on. So you really just I just want to be the vessel to help get that artist idea out. It's really not about me at that point, because the artist is going to be the one that's on the stage selling a song. The artist is going to be the one that's on social media selling a song. So I want to make sure the artist is as confident in that song. Because if they confident in the song, they promote it, it blow up, I make money, they make money. They ain't even just about money. They happy, I'm happy. But really just making sure the artist leaves happy and leaves satisfied is yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I I can imagine that, it's a world of difference, like you said, giving the artist the canvas
Mm-hmm.
and starting out early
Mm-hmm.
and being young and wanting to tap into this part of the industry. How do you sell yourself to these artists to give you a chance to
Work with.
collaborate with them? Because I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, but what was your selling point and how did you early on, how did you sell yourself to these hip hop artists, R&B artists to get you
Yeah.
to get them to believe in you and your beat making? Was it like just cold calling and like emailing samples? How did you go about, the
Yeah,
business side of it?
that's a great question. Well, the one thing about being a club music producer and being a DJ versus just being like a producer who's in their home producing beats and actually sending them out, me releasing my original club tracks, a lot of them still had my voice. I might not be rapping them. I might say, "Put your hands up," or like "Shake off," "Rock off." "Put your hands up for Baltimore," stuff like that. So I was kind of building my own brand, and that's one of my main things to producers is building your own brand. You can release instrumentals. You can release like just regular club tracks. I was releasing mixtapes. So basically, a lot of artists like music. So artists would really come and say, I want to be a part of what you got going on. So that was my leg up. And also I would work with artists that were my friends. And I make a good song with my friend. And then other artists say, here, like, oh yeah. So I always tell people about having a proof of concept. If you wanna if you want to go straight to producer for Drake, but you never produced for anybody, build your own artists. Like Dr. Dre he always find his own artists and build them up. Timberland with Aaliyah. Timberland had his friend Magoo on the songs back in the day, and those beats was fire. And Magoo sound fire just because he was on the Timberland beat. Magoo probably ain't want to be the best rapper in the world. So really, just as a producer, building your own artist, building your brand. Go on Instagram and make a beat. Pick up your camera, pick up your iPhone, make a beat so people can see what you're doing. And then you don't always want to reach up. Sometimes you want to reach lateral when you collaborate, when you're working. So if this person, the hottest artist in the city normally got 2 or 3 friends that kind of rap too. So you might not be able to get to the hottest artist in the city, but what you want to do is maybe collaborate with someone in his camp, and you do a crazy track with someone in his camp. He gonna play it for that artist. Like, yo, I met this new producer and he killed this beat. So, and that's how you get in. You get in through those different areas, but definitely building your own brand, because I release as much music as Mighty Mark with an artist similar to DJ Khaled as much as I produce for other people. So yeah, definitely building your own brand so you don't have to necessarily rely on an artist 100%.
Absolutely. And now, when you
Mhm.
talk about building a brand, in the last couple years, you have built your Mighty Mark brand. It's been going on
Mhm.
for more than a couple years, but you initially started out as Murder Mark.
Yes.
So, what was the what was the spearhead to change over from Murder Mark to Mighty Mark? Was it just the name itself, or is there just something that like clicked with you? Like, hey, I got to make a change.
Yeah, well, it's a few things. Part murder is a negative connotation, especially back then. Nowadays, you got people that kind of like you got Murder Beats, who produces a lot of Migos and produces a lot of stuff in the industry too. But basically, when we had our shows at Poly, instead of having Murder Mark on the screen when we have our school wide show, we I would change it to lyrical assassin because the teacher was like the murder, and a lot of people still call me Murder Mark, but like I didn't want the murder was so tuned into a dark, aggressive, gritty sound, which I still do. So with and plus, like I do a lot more with schools now teaching. I just didn't want the first word to be like a negative connotation. So with the mighty, and even when I was going by Murder Mark, I had a mixtape series, and I created a character, an animated character called Mighty Mark, and he was on the cover. I said, well, let me just switch to that, and it just makes it's just more marketable, but also I wanted to expand my sound outside of just the dark, gritty Baltimore club. Like now I have pop club, I have EDM, I have all kinds of stuff. So it was a twofold, the negative connotation, but also symbolizing a change in growth in my sound.
Okay, so that's a perfect lead into this next question,
Mm,
because
mm,
you said that you wanted to get away from the darker connotations. 4 years ago, you
mm.
um collabed with TT the artist. You guys are, synonymous with each other. If you've been
Yes.
following social media, that is,
Mm.
one of your
Main
A1s right
collaboration.
there. You guys made Dark City Beneath the Beat. It's a
Yes.
documentary. Um Being under the Mighty Mark moniker and making that documentary, um how was it kind of going back to your original roots and your original mind frame to make that documentary come to life?
Yeah, it was definitely it's definitely great. Like a lot of people will comment say, "Hey, bring Murder Mark back." He's still here. I just do a bunch of other different sounds as well. But the special thing about Dark City, like it's a musical documentary, so the story is really told through the music. So being able to show how vast and how wide Baltimore club music is, so you have scenes where it's real dark. um then you got scenes where it's a tribute to um Fat Girl who passed away, where it's a song about hope. And then you have songs about, like, from my collaborator Mike JR. He has one of the outro songs, Shake It Off, about shaking off and just continuing to move. So really that film, in addition to highlighting Baltimore, just shows the vast net that club music can um cast as well. So yeah, it was definitely good for certain parts to go back to that gritty, grimy Murder Mark style. Um, it was good to showcase off the DJs and the dancers. And Dark City was amazing. And be on the lookout because it's going to be back on streaming services soon. So it was a 2 year deal with Netflix, and that deal was over. But stay tuned. So you'll see it back up somewhere real soon.
Hey, that's great, man. You know, it was
Mm.
when you initially released it, and I know it had to be difficult because it was in the height of the pandemic, and
Yes.
I know a lot had to be done probably like this over a video
Yes.
conference and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and for you to get your name out there in the Netflix universe, and
Yeah.
now you're just you go from being a Baltimore club music guy to now, like you said, you're expanding
Mm.
your catalog to so many different areas. I wanted to ask you, um, in the process of your career, I
Mm.
know that this is a very large thing on social media. I even saw
Yeah.
it today.
Mm.
A lot of people argue about who has the best club music, Baltimore club
Mm.
or New Jersey
Jersey
or New
or
York.
Philly.
So Philly, like,
Mm.
how do you navigate that when you're an actual club music artist and you got the beats out there? How do you kind of navigate the negativity and the toxicity of your industry? Because everybody's got their own style, everybody's got their own flavor, everybody's got their own sound in terms of where they're from. And it just seems like it's counterproductive to the overall product itself if you just keep on beefing about who has this sound or who's
Yeah.
copying the other person.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about the internet is there'd be a lot of noise. Like everybody got a voice. Like I'll post my stuff, I'll reply to my comments, and then I'm off of there. Or I might be looking at sneakers, or I'm looking at other people making beats. So for me, my music, when I release my stuff, I'm really just trying to nurture my fans and gain more fans. And I don't really pay attention to like Jersey Club this, Philly Club that. Cause if you really think about it, because sometimes the internet is real, but it's not. If you really take your song and you stop a random person on the street, a lot of people still call it house music. A lot of people still
Right.
don't even know. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's that house music. A lot of people don't really know unless you really on the internet and inside the culture. So most of the people that was talking about Jersey Club, Baltimore Club, is people that's like real diehards, like they real diehards. I had a coworker, and one of my favorite coworkers at Comcast. I worked at Comcast, and this was probably like 6 7 years ago. And she's from New York, and she was like, yeah, because her husband DJ. She was like, yeah, I listen to club music stuff like that. She was go to the gym, but when I like the Jersey Club. Jersey Club got its own. To me, Jersey Club is it's a little bit faster. It's a little bit more chops, and every place has their different time period. So now Jersey for the past couple years, they was they in a TikTok, they in a TikTok so they gonna get amplified because they in a TikTok But like 2008, Kanye West was hopping on Baltimore club tracks. So like everything goes in cycles. Like 2008 club music was real hot, Baltimore club in the EDM world, in the hipster world, and when Kanye was doing 808s and heartbreaks. Now Jersey was really Philly kind of made it hot again on TikTok, and then Jersey hopped on too. So Philly and Jersey. Jersey is closer to New York, they closer to the media outlets. But club music been going on me and your whole life. So it's gonna have up periods and it's gonna have down periods. Um, so I like competition, well, not a competition, comparison comparison to screw your whole thing up because you might be comparing like, yeah, well, this guy podcast got this, or this producer got this. Like, like you just gotta be thankful and content and blessed for what you have. I got a Acura. I was telling my wife I wanted like a luxury vehicle. I was looking at the Audi, looking at a few other vehicles, and then as soon as I get the Acura, what I do? Look on the road and look at the Benz. Why? My Acura is basically new. It's clean. I only had it for a month. I'm already looking at something. Already looking at something. I don't need nothing else. I got it built. So it's like I got a MacBook. Then they're gonna come out with a new MacBook. They just came out. They just announced Apple got a new MacBook. You get a pair of sneakers. Next week is gonna be another pair of sneakers. So you gotta treat yourself. But sometimes you gotta be content. And when it comes to music, when it comes to like the Jersey, the Philly, I just stay in my lane, put my music out, build my music, build my relationships, and just just keep that going.
That's a good way to look at it, and that's,
Mhm.
I wish everybody had that type of outlook instead of, you can be competitive and be supportive at the same time.
Yes.
You can want everybody to eat simultaneously.
Yes.
Um, Speaking of this whole Netflix,
Mhm.
partnership, and you kind of made your way into the movie sector. You had a track on the new Space Jam.
Had a track on Space Jam. Space Jam New Legacy. I co-produced the track on there with my friend Mike Jr. And TT has the vocals on that. Um, I have a song in Stavros Harkias comedy
Oh,
special
stop!
as
Yeah.
well too. The intro, like he used one of my club tracks for the intro and the outro. And yeah, like a few other Grand Army got a song in there. Few other shows, Lizzo, Watch Out for the Big Girls, that was Amazon. Uh, so yeah, got a lot of songs in Insecure on HBO or HBO Max now, or just called Max. They keep on switching it up. But yeah, yep. So a few songs, and those songs was all produced mostly produced by me or co-produced by me and my friends, not through no record label. So when the fee come in, it's not broken down. It's not broken down a million ways. And then when those songs are featured on TV shows, people listen to it and then people go stream it. But when people go stream it, we see that income as well.
It was cool because I watched the new Space Jam with my daughter when it came
Yes.
out, and
Mm.
then your name was in the credits. And I even told my daughter when she was sitting on the couch next to me, I said, "Hey, Daddy went to school with that guy."
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
it's cool with that. And then, what was that like when the Space Jam people reached out to you? Because we grew up with Space Jam, like with the
Yes.
original.
Yeah.
That was like a movie of our time, and it had MJ, and now they've got LeBron. They had
LeBron.
LeBron do it. What was it like when you got that initial phone call or that email? What was your thought process?
That felt real good because I try to put my I have a 14-year-old, a 5-year-old, and I have one more on the way. So
Congratulations.
thank you. So I try to put them on my old cartoons. So I made them watch the Goofy movie and like the Space Jams and all that. So being able to watch the new Space Jam and see my credits in there, even regardless of the kids, um, just seeing Space Jam, that Space Jam email, I'm like Space Jam, like this is cool. The other shows was cool too, but like we grew up on Space Jam, so it's like, yeah, we want to use a song cause such and such on this section, and the song is used in a real small part, but when they use your song in the film as big as Space Jam, it's still a nice payout, but it's like I think at the end when he in a basketball game, I think he fall down for a little bit. LeBron fall down or somebody knock him down or something like that. And it's real light in the background. I think Tweety is flying over him, the Tweety birds. I think I gotta look on my Instagram. I posted the video, but
Mhm.
it's in a small use. But even just seeing your name and those actually credits, it's a real big thing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's almost a vindication of everything you've worked for, knowing that not only are you on multiple streaming services, multiple platforms, but now you're forever synonymous with a LeBron James movie. No matter how anybody feels about him,
Yes.
on or off the court,
Yes.
you know that you're synonymous with that movie because your name is in that ending credits, no matter
Hmm.
what, for the rest of life. Nobody can take that from you. So I think
Right.
that's personally, I think that's really cool. And kind of shifting over to Stavros, he has been on the rise as well.
Ooh.
The Netflix special. What was it like for him to ask you to use your song for his walkout intro outro type of thing? Because you guys went to school together for years. I mean, you guys were at Roland
Yeah.
Park together. You were at Poly together. Graduated
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Um, he's a Baltimore born and raised, just
Yes.
like you, just like me. Like that means more to me, honestly. I'm not
Yes.
I'm not downplaying the LeBron thing at all,
Right.
but
No, but yes.
that right there, a Baltimore music producer, Baltimore comedian on the biggest stage in the entire world. What was that
Yes.
like for you when Stavros reached out?
that that was amazing. And one thing I was telling my wife and I was telling my daughter, and I tell people in general, you never know who watching, you never know who a fan, and you never know where someone is going to be, in certain years. So that's why even I grew up with my grandparents. They used to always tell me like, be nice, be respectful to people. You know, somebody will do something. I ain't no pushover, but somebody do something like, that I really need to go all out on this person or something of that sort. Cause like me and staff, and even me and you, I always was cool and in my opinion, let's say high school, middle school, for the majority of my time, I was really cool with everybody. I wasn't really in no cliques or something.
You
I'll
were.
say what's up to everybody, you know, talk to everybody. I didn't really try to act stuck up in school. I just need my music and, I go to class and I talk to everybody and I keep it moving. So Stav been like watching me from afar person. He's like, yeah, I'm doing my first special. And he thought about me. It's crazy that he thought about me and we haven't talked in years before that, but he hit me up on Twitter and was like, yeah, man, I would love to do some music in a special, something like that. I said, yeah, man, you can go in, I'm cool. And he chose one of my songs off of YouTube. So I sent his manager the file. We did the agreement. Yeah, and it was great that he asked for me, and it was great that he had a Netflix special. And comedy doesn't have too much music in it, so it's really used twice. It really used an intro when he walked out, and at the end, as well. And it's just great to see, people from my school, people that I grew up with, doing great things, and living out their dreams. And it's really, like I said, be like if I was a if I was bad to staff in high school or middle school, probably say, you know what, I'm not using that guy music or nothing like
Right.
that. And then after that, like I took one of his he has this Ronnie Ravens character that you
Yeah, I
probably
bought I
know
bought
of.
his T-shirt a couple
Yeah,
months ago.
yeah. So I took some of his Ronnie skits and chopped them up. And
Yeah.
I just knew we was gonna go to the Super Bowl. Because if we would have went to the Super Bowl
Uh,
and Ronnie would have did it, because I did one remix from one of his skits and it went real crazy. And I just did it and posted it. I just did it real quick and posted it like how people would do club remixes. Um, he liked it so much that he reposted and he tagged me in it. So that was real dope. And if we would have won that Super Bowl, man, if Ronnie would have came out with another skit, I
that
would
would
have
have been
chopped it
hilarious.
up. I
I'm
would have
sure you would
remixed
have.
it. We would have been out. I knew it would have went. I knew it would have did. It probably would have hit like 1 million, but hopefully next year. Maybe he bring back Ronnie next year and
Oh,
we make work.
he's definitely going to bring it back. But one thing I wanted to kind of give a nod to is that not only was your music on his intro and his outro, he
Right.
also had another nod to Baltimore in the comedy special that not many people outside the city will pick up.
Uh-huh.
The New Balances, the
Oh yes,
jeans.
yes.
He had the whole thing like
Yeah, the
it
whole
was a it
thing.
was
Yeah.
a complete
Baltimore.
nod to Baltimore, and
Yes.
that was pretty cool to see. He, as much as his comedy is for only I guess it's niche because of the content of his comedy,
Right.
which
Right.
I love it. I think he's hilarious.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
I wanted to touch on something that you just said though, Mark, because you said that there's so many talented people, and from that Roland Park Middle School class of 2002 that we were in together,
Uh,
and I'm not even putting myself in that. I mean,
yeah.
I know I'm doing this. I've been
Right.
doing this
Yeah.
for a while, but you
Mhm.
and Stav and Brian Bomster,
What?
there's
Yeah. What is Brian doing? Cause
Brian is like a worldwide artist, and he is in the medical marijuana industry. He's doing great
oh.
things. He was designing cleats for a couple of Ravens players, like painting them for those like
Mm,
he is I think he designs labels for medical marijuana packaging. He just collaborated with Chris Brown. So there's some guys that from our class and girls. They own beauty stores, they own
yeah.
salons. There's
Got
lawyers. That's a
Brittany.
very talented class. Yeah,
You
Brittany
got
over at
Brittany with a
DTLR. I
D360.
interviewed her years ago.
Yep, and then
You
and
know,
then and then you have Brittany Young too, who does
yeah, Brittany Young.
the beat. Now I gotta Brian used to rap, so I gotta find his Instagram and send him a message, man.
Yeah,
I gotta find his
I'll link you guys.
yeah,
I'll shoot him a message too and let him
mhm,
know that you're looking out. You know,
mhm,
looking to get up with them. But
mhm.
it's crazy that there's so many talented people. We have doctors and lawyers and it's just so wide ranging that that's like a legendary graduating class
That's
of Roland
crazy.
Park.
That's
It is.
crazy. That's
It
crazy.
re-
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
it is. And just you're doing so many great things, and
Mhm,
you and your brother are both, I know you guys make your family proud. Your brother
mhm,
is a world traveled American professional football player overseas. He's been doing that. Now he's back home, he's training, he's
mhm.
doing all these great things. How does your family feel about the success of the Gaskew brothers? Like, what is how do you guys maintain the family dynamic? And I know you guys are both humble, but
Yeah.
you can't help but be excited.
Yeah, yeah, I think they're really proud because we took kind of different routes. Like a lot of the other ones kind of work, got like I kind of uncles and aunts work day to day, which is great. But us being able to create our own schedules, you know, claim back our time and stuff like that. Like they really proud. I don't think they really know the ins and outs of everything, like like our older uncles and aunts, but they really proud. They try to support. They follow the stuff. My uncle be hitting me up all the time, like, yeah, I told him, yeah, my nephew is this. So yeah, I think they feeling good. They can't complain.
That's good. That's good.
Mm,
Before we wrap this up, man, I wanted to ask you. I know that you are involved with
mm.
a
Mm.
law firm that helps
Yeah.
music artists. How did you get involved with that?
Yeah, yeah. So right now I'm the acting president of the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. And we are a nonprofit that actually provides pro bono law services for artists, creators, and actually in Maryland. And really, it's all through my friend Adam. Adam is the executive director of the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. I actually DJ his wedding, and that's about don't get me wrong, probably like he was like 10, at least 10 years ago. Um, but the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts represents artists, but at first it was nothing but lawyers actually on their board. So I was the first artist on their board. And then I moved on up, secretary, vice president, and then president. We actually have a party at Creative Alliance March the 21st. But yeah, it's just a different way of helping the community. I'm also acting as the program director for New Music Inc. Baltimore, program coordinator for New Music Inc. Baltimore, where we collaborate cross collaboration. So in addition to doing music, I've always been a community person. I started off making my beats, like making them in the computer lab in the recreation center out Cherry Hill. So my community in music has always been intertwined as well, which I think is different from a lot of producers. So, in addition to making beats, I might go teach a music production class to some kids and stuff like that.
That's fantastic, man. I'm sure that the services you guys provide are fantastic, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing resource to for an outreach for community
Mhm.
artists, and I know that that comes in handy because not everybody has those type of resources at their disposal
Yes.
in terms of monetary,
Mhm.
monetary, businesses.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry, Mark. My daughter's here with me right now.
No, I understand that. It's all good. I understand that.
All right. All right. All right. I got you, baby. I'm live still. Say hi, Mark.
I know how that is, Roblox.
Yeah,
I know how that is.
she's home. She's a little under the weather today, but she's a trooper today.
I
But
know how
hey,
that is.
that's great, man. About
Mhm.
the the law services that you provide, because
Mm,
a lot of people don't really understand that if you're glued to the business and you don't have a lot going on for you, somebody can take really terrible advantage of you
mm.
and swindle you out of your money.
Yeah, yeah. And if you ever need, because even for podcasts, if you ever need like something incorporated or have like a question, we even have open law clinics where you can just come and ask a question like, hey, I don't know about this, or I'm trying to do this with my podcast, or I'm trying to do this with my media. I'm trying to do, because media is art too. So yeah, and just really like with the MDVLA, in my opinion, um a lot of people still don't know about it. You know, a lot of people still don't know about it. So with me coming in, my main thing is like to get the word out that we are here and we are here to serve. And I interact with a lot of different communities. So just spreading the word that to let people know that resource is here in Maryland. If you ever come across any type of legal hardship or even legal advice, so you can get your stuff right before you come across any type of hardship as well.
Absolutely, and it's interesting because, like you said, when you first got there, it was nothing but lawyers on the board, and now that you're
Mm,
there and you're kind of leading
mhm.
the front, it's got to be a great advantage to anybody for to have somebody that's in the business itself, has
Yeah,
seen the positives and the negatives of the business side of it, and then somebody that has the legal background to
yeah,
help them navigate and
yes,
formulate contracts and make sure they're not signing their life or their rights away. It's got
yes.
to be that's a great twofold attack right there, to where you can really save a lot of people a lot of heartache.
Yes, yes, that you hit the nail on the head.
Hey, I'm. You know what? I want to thank you, Mark, for coming on.
Mhm,
You have been, so gracious and
mhm,
accommodating. We've been talking for a couple weeks.
mhm,
Um, once again, congratulations on the little one on
mhm,
the way. I'm excited for you. I'm happy for
mhm.
you. You've been doing great things in the entertainment industry. Before I let you go, Mark, where can everybody find you on social media so they can follow along in your career?
Yeah. Everybody follow me at I am Mighty Mark. Mighty is MIGHTYMARK. I am Mighty Mark. If you love Baltimore Club, want to support a Baltimore artist, Baltimore music, and I know we got sports fans on here, so I'm gonna try to do more sports related content. So when the Ravens come out, I'm gonna try to do some more stuff. I'm gonna try to pick my brain and think of some stuff I can figure out with, to tie it in the sports. Y'all, if y'all have any sports ideas of any songs that'll make good anthems or good things to get you hyped up, comment me or DM me at I am Mighty Mark, and I got you. I need some ideas.
Sounds great, man. Thanks again for coming on. Hang around for post show for about a minute or two. That's a
Mhm.
wrap, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in.